Well, I'm fairly honest, so I'm going to have to tell you, I don't know what the Gang of Six has proposed, but I do know that we need some kind of immigration reform. I think the bottom line with immigration reform is the fact that we want people paying into the system instead of paying for them with our hard-earned money. And I really think that's where the reform needs to come from. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Understand the reason that we have immigration law is to, number one, protect the health and safety of Americans, and number two, to preserve Americans' jobs. And none of this immigration reform makes any sense whatsoever to me until we secure the border. Anything else is just going to be an incentive for more and more illegal aliens to come across the border. Interestingly, we're using our military to secure the Afghanistan border, and we're failing to secure our own. And no immigration reform makes any sense to allow someone that came here illegally to jump ahead of those that are in the system legally. Thank you.
As a small business owner, our businesses have one obligation with their employees, and that is to ensure that they have been legally identified and have a lawful right to work in the United States. What we know is that there are literally tens of thousands, millions of people working in this country that are using somebody else's identity. So I agree with Ray. We need to stop the bleeding at the border first, and we need to ensure that our employees have been legally identified and have a lawful right to work.
Thank you, Andy.
First off, I don't support Senator Schumer in any way, shape, or form. So I just want to make that clear. Secondly, we certainly have to we have to secure the border first. That's very important. We have to make sure that there is e-verification for businesses to make sure that businesses are hiring the proper employees as well, and those who are here illegally. I don't believe in amnesty. I don't support amnesty. If there is a way to citizenship, then those that are here those that are here ought to be able to pursue the right to citizenship.
I am a Green, and I also happen to be a person of faith, and I'd like to answer the question in that context. You know, this is a small planet, relatively speaking. When God made it, He made the continents and the oceans, but He didn't separate the continents into the United States of America and Mexico and Germany and so forth. The second point of the Green Party's 10 key values under social justice and equal opportunity reads, all persons should have the rights and opportunities to benefit equally from resources afforded us by society and the environment.
I would not support the bill in its present form. I think that it's on the right track with regard to the expansion of the 65,000 visas on the H-1B high-tech side. But I think the bill is still fundamentally flawed from the standpoint of ag workers. The present system with regard to ag workers, I don't believe works. I would say we very substantially need to expand the guest worker visa program for seasonal workers. And I would say that I agree with Ray Nash with regard to the importance of securing the border.
Two huge threats to national security: deficit and illegal immigration. We're a country of immigrants. We need to welcome people. However, if you give amnesty, that's like giving amnesty to a guy who robs a bank and say, well, you wait for a couple years and then it's okay. So that doesn't stop people coming in the country. It encourages people to come in the country. We need to make sure that we're doing the right things, and there are issues that we can do, but we have to close the border before you encourage more people to come into the border. We don't know who's coming in. We can. Thank you very much.
I don't even know if the bill is completely written. I know they have some bullet points about what they want to do, but I don't think the legislation is completely written. A secure border and background checks would be the first thing that I'd be very interested in. And I don't think just because we need seasonal workers, we need to rush to grant amnesty to a lot of folks that are here at the head of the line. I think everybody ought to get at the back of the line and apply for citizenship, whether you're from Sweden or a South American country or wherever you happen to be from. So just because we do need workers, and we do need workers, I don't think we ought to let that factor other things.
I haven't reviewed the entire plan either, but I'll tell you this. I do believe that we need strong immigration enforcement. We need tight border control, and we need to know when visas expire what happens to the folks that were on them. We need to embrace people with specialized skills, let them go to school. I'm all for that. The other thing is, last thing I want to tell you is I am for compromise. I'm tired of us being stuck and not moving forward. There is no perfect solution, so we will have to find that compromise. We're not all going to be happy, but we do need to find it and move forward.
I grew up on a family farm on the Mexican border, and I worked side by side with my Hispanic farm workers. I'm close friends with them. I speak fluent Spanish. I vehemently disagree with Governor Sanford on this one. The Gang of Six bill is surprisingly good and is surprisingly helpful for farm workers. And it's surprisingly helpful for my friends who work in family farms. It's also not completely written. Chip is right about that, but it does not have amnesty from what I saw. It is
John,
a good compromise, and it's something we should take a hard look at. Thank you.
As the former director of border security at the White House and someone who worked on the immigration reform legislation in 2006 and 2007, I love this question. So the bill the discussion they've had, if you listen to the details, they're not in the same place. Rubio's talking about a pathway to earn legal status. Durbin's talking about a pathway to citizenship. Those are completely different things. The important thing is it needs to be comprehensive. We have visas that go to family reunification, visas that go to diversity, but they're not actually programmed toward the jobs that we need. We just need to make sure whatever comes out is comprehensive and doesn't force employers to enforce the law.
I wrote the South Carolina immigration bill. We have a problem with illegal immigration in this nation, and until we secure the border, I don't even want to talk about the Gang of Six's plan. After the border's been secure, then let's take a look at it. What holds us together as a society is our value in the rule of law. And no group of people, no matter who they are, where they are, should be exempt from any of our laws. Because once you start unraveling the Constitution, it won't end. We are a nation of laws, and once the laws are effective, we should all abide by them.
If I could recap the question. There were 2 points, right? We were talking about seasonal workers.
Seasonal workers and skilled
students.
graduates from South Carolina universities.
These 2 points, these people are in the country legally. If you're in this country legally and you're contributing to society and you're paying your taxes and you're a good citizen, you're a student that's come to this country, we're educating you, we're teaching you to be the best and the brightest, why would we let you go? We need to find a way that if we're going to educate you, we need to keep you here. Now, whether that's citizenship or a visa or a green card, that's something that needs to be discussed. But if you're a seasonal worker, then we need to look at that too. If you're in this country legally, then we need to find a way to keep you here. We want the best and the brightest.
I needed to stand. Reward workers, deport criminals. Our country is being invaded by drug dealers, pimps, and weapons. We have to defend this nation. We can do that. I will not rest until Congress fulfills its oversight responsibilities. They have not been doing that since Reagan. I will fight in Congress for a sane and safe society.
We do need to secure our borders, and we need to get everybody to sign the book. We need to know who's all in here. That's to start our decision process. There is a place in our economy, in our business for guest workers. We just need to make sure that it's a common sense solution, that they do not have an advantage over the people that are here legally, and they abide by our laws, that they pay into our system like that, but they do not move ahead of anybody that's here legally.